I will always have people that want to, that desire to follow what we teach, what we talk about here. But they don't have patience like you people have. They cannot follow because what we say today, it's a build-up. It's a build-up. We have messages that we used to preach when we were still in grade 2. We are no longer there. We come today, we tell you something that sounds like it's a contradiction. No, classes have changed. Yes. But we must also understand that whilst we are now in grade 7, we have new students that are joining us today on social media. It's hard for them to listen to all of my sermons. Maybe it's because they are too long, I understand. But that has helped most of you here to know and to see. I was never going to address this had it not been brought to my attention that people were now castigating and attacking certain men of God because of a friend that I mentioned here. I knew you watched it. You watched it. I spoke of a friend here. A friend of mine that I visited. And most of you here, you know, you're aware that's not the first time that I talked about him. I mentioned about, I don't know whether that was City Sports or where. Yeah, maybe it was in City Sports. I mentioned about a friend who had a ministry that I visited. So this I'm no longer addressing just you. I have got my brothers and sisters. So don't say, Prophet, we know that already. No, I'm not talking to you now. We have got many sheep that are not of this fold, Jesus said. One thing that I've learned also with myself is everyone else is allowed to give their own experiences and testimonies. I am not. Even in the delivery of a very simple message, I cannot even predict which one is going to trend here. I cannot even tell. You can't even prophesy which one are they going to deal with now this time around. You can't. Everyone else can share their story. And it doesn't become a story. I'm not complaining to God to say, why me? It's not a complaint. But the reason why I had to address this is because of innocent people that were being attacked. I've got few pastors here that have been with me for a very long time, even before they became pastors. They know very well that friend of mine. If you had met him, you would not mistaken him for anyone else. He's a guy that you meet, you can never forget. So, I heard you people, not you. Sit down, sit down. You look at the message so clear. What did I say? Before this ministry even started, when was that? When was that? What is important here is before the ministry started. That is key. Because I'm also a man who is having a vision to come. And how many times have I told you that I've been to several churches? Ah, my God. And encouraging some of you people to visit other ministries. And I've encouraged you not just to stick to UF. And I said you cannot say, this is the best restaurant, if that's the only restaurant that you've visited.
Yes.
You can't say this ministry is the best. Have you ever been to that? Have you ever been to that?
Yes. Yes.
People must have that liberty of visiting other places and get a different experience. I like that. If they catch you there, you are caught. That's it. But if you come back, at least you start to appreciate what you're experiencing. So no matter where you go, if it's a wilderness, you will still be told by the angel to go back to your mistress and submit. So great men of God, Apostle Tawonga Wutawashe, Prophet Uebert, Angel, were being dragged into this matter. This is the friend that he's talking about. So, if it was me being attacked, I would not answer to that. But if I perceive some mischievousness in people who have got their own scores to settle, then I come out. That friend of mine, I'm never going to tell you his name. For a reason. You know why. I've never mentioned the name of a person in a bad sense.
Indeed.
So I'm not starting with this one. Because I said he was a what? A friend. I'm not a betrayer. I only derive lessons from past experiences. Where does Wutawashe come into this? Where does Angel come into this? Where? I visited them where before this ministry? No, let me ask you a very simple thing. In fact, if I was referring to any of them and you got it right, I was going to leave you with that opinion. Because you'd have gotten it right. And if you are wrong, I have to help you understand. To think that such a wedding was put deliberately so that you would at least visit your past. So before this ministry was started, where would I visit Spirit Embassy? Where did you see me sitting with my wife like this? Before this ministry. I'm not saying there are no such places. I'm just saying, is it Spirit Embassy? Is it a heartfelt international ministries? So where are you getting all that from? So you think I had no friends before I met these two people? What have they done? Tell me. Anyway, I'm not talking to you. And I told you that from that moment, we stopped communicating. When we saw that this experience was so terrifying, we felt like if God is to take us today, we won't make it to heaven with my wife. It was a terrible experience. We never communicated from that day. And yet we went on years later to start a ministry. And all these two people that are being accused, I invited them to this ministry. Huh?
Yes.
I invited them after I had cut communications with them.
No.
Are people okay? These are the only people that I've shared this pulpit with.
Yes. That's right.
Apart from my father, of course, he's not a guest, this is his place. And we had another one, not talking of sons, of course. And we had another one, a man of God, evangelist situation. Remember, he once visited us. And only these two. These were the only two people, I would say, come and minister. Because of what I like about them until today. So, where is this friend that I went to his church before this ministry and we have never spoken ever since? Why am I talking about this? Being able to see the one that sees.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Are you following me? Yes. Yes. I would make sure before I introduce a man of God, I would always tell you, you people, if there is nothing in this man that I admire, I would not have invited him. There must be something unique in a man. Even if I pick anyone here and I say today you are the one preaching, you'll find out if you are to search, there is something unique in that person. And never think this, what people were doing, has hurt any of those people. They are mature enough to understand. We have been together for years and they know when I speak. It's well arranged. But it's people that have joined us recently. My old Madara and so on, they know the person that I'm talking about. Anonza Amaji.
The old guard knows who I'm talking about, but the Johnny come latelys.
Their minds cannot stretch that far. They went, it's too far. Too far. I cannot even walk away from Apostle Wutawashe. We used to spend hours, even before he comes to minister, we'll be together. And then he comes to minister, having heard the sermon even before you. Not being told, not hearing while he is preaching, no. sharing notes. Because every man of God, you need another man of God. Iron sharpens iron. If Apostle was to walk out of my life, he would have a better reason than me. He would have a better reason of walking away from me than reasons that I have. Because I remember at some point, another man of God, he called me on the phone, and we're talking about so many other things, and he ended up asking me about Wutawashe. Are you following? And I commented. I had to speak about him. Not with him, with another man of God. He doesn't even know that. I'm the one saying it here. So if he is to walk away from my life, it can be because of that. Because as a friend, I'm not supposed to do that. It's wrong. I did it. Are you following me? So who has a reason? He even has a reason than I do. I've never heard him talk about me with anyone. If he has, it's up to him. But I'm telling you my culture, how I operate, and what I repent from. I know what is wrong. You can't hear stories about me from any other person. Come to me, I will tell you my own story. There is no social media that has the capacity to explain me to the people. Are you following this? So you just go to the calendar. When was UFI or UFIC started? How about Heartfelt International Ministries? So how do you reverse that? I'm not saying this for me, because it was not me being attacked there. It was other innocent people who are not even a part of that story. And that story never confused any of you. It was so clear. But I said they are mischievous people. What is there to learn? You have friends. You have even a husband, you even have a wife. We have seen it happening after people have separated. People go on social media. And they start to explain things that were happening while these people were during marriage. What a world. What a world. What a world. There is no more submission to each other. So it's one thing that if such a person is to come and even say, you said this about me, and I say I'm wrong, I can kneel before you people and let him lay his hands on me and forgive me. And I will lose nothing. I will even become better. Humility is the way to go. Where you know your husband sent you packing, you know the reasons. It was because you were stubborn. Don't wait for him to struggle. Don't wait until he finds another person. Go back to your men and humble yourself and ask for forgiveness. Tell him the truth. My man, my life has now become difficult. It's a terrible life without you. I'm not saying you don't think about it. Of course you think about it, but you don't say it. That's your problem. Go back to your mistress. Up until today, my wife sometimes finds me watching Apostle preaching. If he's live, sometimes I'm there, I'm watching. We're discussing about a certain revelation that he shared. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, a sermon that we were discussing recently. We was preaching about the important, I think it was on ministers, young ministers or something. He was talking about the revelation of marriage. He said something so profound that we then discussed. No, this one was not gossip. It was me and my wife. We had never had a revelation at that magnitude where he said, certain people in marriages, they value marriage even more than their spouse. I thought it was one thing. And he said, sometimes it's not the marriage, it's not the husband that he loves. It is the marriage idea. Go and check when that message was preached. When it was live, I was there, I was watching it. I thought it was one thing, and he was saying, in most cases, somebody just wants to remain married. Not because for the love of the husband. It's marriage that is loved. Marriage, not the man, marriage. So, I listen with a ghost account. I cannot let people destroy the people I love.